Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry for the tech issues that we are having tonight. It is so crazy. It's like beyond crazy. What has happened is my computer downloaded a Windows update today. It was one of those automatic things that it did. I didn't even have any control over it. And so what happened is now my app apparently for the Google Hangouts, which YouTube uses, apparently that's not working. I have to figure out why, but it was working a little while ago, I promise. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me tonight. And I'm seeing several faces that I know already in the chat. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for going ahead and clicking that like button. I see several likes. I appreciate you all for coming in. I've got Amber and John Homestead Project here. Tracy with Texas Service Dog is here, and Broken Unpredictable Gamer is here. We are set for a great night. So what we're going to be talking about tonight and getting started is overcoming obstacles. And that's where we talk about some problems you still just see a shot. Wow, okay, well, we'll give it a few seconds. If I'm looking on my computer and I've got the homepage loaded, it looks okay. If just the shot doesn't come up in just a minute, we'll give this another whirl or something. Amber and John Homestead Project. Amber's saying you're moving on my end. Okay, great. Tracy says she can hear me. Okay. How about you, Broken Unpredictable Gamer? Okay, Tracy, we'll give it just a minute. If it doesn't work, I'll try something else. Whoops. Tomlin's over here bumping into the table, hence the rocking back and forth. I am not on a boat, I promise. Dog. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, Tracy says she has me now, so super. Thank you guys a lot. Okay, again, don't forget, click that big like button for me. I appreciate you coming out tonight. Okay, so I'm doing this, like I said, by request, and Amber and John says, I love boats. Thank you. Amber, I love your sense of humor. That is so helpful tonight. I needed to hear that. Amber says, I've been on boats. That is cool. John's going to have to get one if he doesn't have one. And Unpredictable Gamer says, you said what? Unpredictable, I was just checking to see if I was coming through on your end. Just double checking that everything's working for everybody. Okay. So we're going to talk about this leg brace thing tonight for a little while, and then, because this is going to be part of a podcast, it's going to go on Blog Talk Radio, Blog Talk Radio /Gayle Crabtree, just like my channel is youtube.com/Gayle Crabtree. Gayle spelled with a Y, Gayle, Crabtree, Crabtree. Broken Unpredictable Gamer says it stopped, but then it came back. That is good news. I'll take that. All is good here. Excellent. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this for a little while, and then we'll flip over. I don't know yet if I'm going to disconnect for a few minutes and then come back on. It's just going to depend on how it's flowing here. But this first portion is going to be a podcast on Blog Talk Radio. And then the fun portion where we just say hi, then we're just going to hang out. That's not going to be a podcast. Amber says, I have to be on an ankle brace sometimes. Okay, that's really can be challenging, Amber. What kind are you on? The White 2-Pack just entered. Hey, White 2-Pack. Long time no see. Welcome to my live stream. Hey, you guys, sometimes the White 2-Pack is live streaming when I do, so we don't get to visit each other's live streams too much. So I'm really glad to see you. So come on in and welcome. Okay, so the obstacle we're talking about tonight is foot drop. Let me tell you my story about what happened first, just a little bit. I'd had some back issues, and I was scheduled to have surgery on my back. So we had that set for later in January. It is Christmas time. I'm going back and forth, moving furniture, taking the Christmas tree down. It's actually just after Christmas, and I'm trying to get ready for the first of the year. So everything is being put back in place. And so my back starts hurting. Well, I'm like kind of grumpy about it, but I'm scheduled for surgery in like the middle of the month, so for January. So I wasn't too worried about it. We talked about scheduling it earlier, but I didn't want to mess up Christmas. That was a dumb move. Reason being, my back started hurting. Well, I didn't think too much about it because I'd been moving everything around. So I called the doctor and I'm like, my back is hurting for like the 50 billionth time, right? They called in some steroids. Well, my back gets better. It quits hurting. You know, life is good. It's like flicking a switch. So that happens that's on Thursday night. Friday, like I said, my back has stopped hurting. Well, Friday night, I kind of stumbled a little bit. Saturday night, the next day, I stumbled a little bit. And I'm like, giving myself a hard time. I'm like, Gayle, you stupid idiot. You are tripping over your own 2 feet. I mean, how brilliant is that, So the next day, I go to church, and I've got some conversations going on here in just a second. Sunday, I go to church. I trip over something again Sunday evening. By wee hours of Monday morning, my foot's just kind of hanging. Well, this is New Year's weekend. Okay, so I don't think too much about it. I try not to overthink it. So I called the doctor on Monday morning, and I'm like trying to be real calm. I'm like, hey, I think it's coming from my back. I've had this problem. You guys phoned in the steroids. My back quit hurting. But this is what my foot's doing now. And the receptionist was like, yeah, okay. Well, I'll pass this to the nurse. We leave at noon, all this stuff. Because, like I said, New Year's. So, fast forward, the receptionist passed it to the nurse, who passed it to the PA, who passed it to the doctor, who asked me how long it would take to get to the hospital. I wound up New Year's Eve night, rather. I'm going into surgery at 11:30 p.m. Emergency surgery, because by this time my foot feels dead on the bottom of it. The rest of it felt numb. And they were suddenly talking about how much function could I regain. Because what had happened was the herniated disc in my back had rubbed on the nerve so much that it was no longer a pinched nerve situation, that it had pretty rapidly gone from a pinched nerve to a permanently damaged nerve. So by the time I got to the hospital, my foot literally, I cannot tell you, is like this. I'm picking up my whole leg and just slapping my foot down, trying to walk. Not cool. It was insane. So surgery, 11:30, and come out with a foot functioning better, but still has issues. Let me look at some of the conversation here. Okay, Amber and John Homestead Project, which is Amber, says, I have to be in a leg brace sometimes. White 2-pack came in. Gayle says, remember that day at Golden Corral? I was limping. I hurt myself. Well, it never healed right. And she's going to send me a picture of the brace. And then Amber and John are saying, hi, White 2-pack. And Amber says, my John says hi to your John. And I'm sure he's going to say, my husband's going to say hi back when he walks by. So I'll go ahead and relay that hello. So Amber, I'm sorry that you're in a brace. I hope you're better. I hope it's not a permanent thing. So after I came out of surgery, for my back, because they had to remove a portion of the disc that was herniated and free up that nerve. And so then it became a question of how much is the nerve going to be able to heal from like what is essentially a damage or a bruise, so I could regain use of my foot. So it was better when I came out of surgery, but it was still not functioning well. So what happened is they actually sent me home on a walker because I couldn't move, still couldn't move the foot. It wasn't stable. It wouldn't move right. It still felt mucho bizarro. It was just weird. And so I was on a walker. Well, the foot still wasn't coming and getting with the program, and it's called foot drop. That's like the big technical term for it. So anyway, people chat, I know you're lurking. That's what Amber's saying. So hey, yes, come on in and talk. And also go ahead and give me a like while you're here. And Texas Service Dog Team says, I trip over my left foot frequently. Could that be foot drop? I would talk with my doctor about that, like post haste. Because here's the thing, it was to the point where they sent me home on a walker, and it took me 5 months before I could regain enough functioning in my foot to drive the car again. It was a little rough, because not only did I not have the feeling on my foot that I needed to have, but I didn't have the functioning. So in order to make that kind of stepping motion to put my foot on the gas, my foot didn't want to go up and down like that. It was more like a wobble flop. And so during this time, I was able to get around in the house with the walker, and then I was able to get around using a cane. Thankfully, I already had Tomlin, so training him for some different things was not that bad because it was relatively easy. Retrieval was a big thing that I needed. And there was some concern that the medicines that they were putting me on for the foot drop would aggravate the seizure disorder, just because new meds for pain and stuff like that, you have to be careful. Fortunately, it didn't hurt super bad. It just felt weird. I really can't explain it. It was like this kind of permanently numb thing. So that was very strange. And Amber's saying, Gayle, with my ankle, I have good days and bad days. I have days when it gets swollen up. I'm sorry to hear that, because I know on swollen up days, I know that's a pain and a half. And my sympathy goes out to you. I have that problem with my right foot too, so, and I know how difficult that is. Do you prop yours up a lot? I wind up still doing that. That and ice and heat. Oh my gosh, heat is like the best thing. Because I don't just have problems with my foot and ankle now, but my whole thing, like if we're talking about pretending this is my foot, like the whole back of my calf has a tendency now to cramp really badly. Not like both calves like you would if your potassium or electrolytes got out of balance. It's just that right leg, and it starts out sometimes with a streak of fire and then like tingling, like it's suddenly asleep, and then bam, that leg just cramps up really badly. And so what happens then is my foot goes from level where it's supposed to be to like literally the cramp pulls the foot sideways. I can't even do it with my arm, but my foot's in the right place, but my whole foot kind of turns, and then my toes. my daughter calls it my horror movie move. So it's weird. But yeah, it took me 5 months to relearn how to do that step. And Sophia's passion for cooking is here. Hi, Sophia. Now, I just met Sophia a little while ago on another live stream and am intrigued by some of the recipes that she's got on her channel. Sophia, I haven't taken a really hard, in-depth look at it yet, like I'm going to. I saw your trailer and a couple other videos. So, thank you for that great channel. Anyway, it was a little tough with my leg. Plus, I was used to being able to do a lot of things, and then suddenly, bam, I'm on the walker, which was really difficult. I was still having to do things like for work and stuff, so I still had a life to live. But what happened was I started falling. The least little thing, like if I was on ground that was uneven, I eventually progressed to a walking stick from my walker. And so if I hit the ground and it was uneven, then I was having to get Tomlin to brace me a lot. Or if he wasn't with me, let's say I decided to go out and get something out of the car or whatever, my foot, if it would hit a rock kind of funny, it was like straight over. So over the next year, I wound up with sprained knees, sprained shoulder, torn calf muscle, torn shoulder muscle, sprained wrist, cracked wrist, and I was going to physical therapy like for these things like crazy. Just boom, boom, boom. So I hurt my shoulder, and I went to the physical therapist a couple of times for that. And he's like, you keep coming in here. It's all coming from your leg, but we're treating your shoulder, your knee, things like that. And he said, what we need to do is keep you from falling. And then he told me about an orthotic in town. He called my doctor. My doctor agreed and thought it was a really good thing. So I went to see the orthotist, and the end result is the Ottobock Walk-on leg brace. It's kind of weird looking, kind of evil looking, if you will. And so let me get back to the conversation, and I'll fill you in a little bit more on this. Texas Service Dog Team, Tracy is saying, I have post-surgical numbness on my left calf. I don't like shaving that leg because I'm always afraid I'm going to cut myself. And then people are saying hi to everybody else, which is awesome. Tracy, I get exactly what you're talking about because I have that now on the outside of my leg and going down like into my foot and my ankle. The bottom of my foot, I have trouble feeling my first two toes all the time. That's just the way it is. And I have problems with numbness on the bottom of my foot. Have you had back problems? Did yours originate from a back problem? Amber and John Homestead Project. I have not seen a brace like that before, Gayle. This is super expensive. I think we wound up paying, time the whole bill was done, I think we wound up paying the orthotist a couple of $1,000s. I'm not sure if that's before insurance or after. I don't remember. It's been a couple of years. I think the brace itself was around $800, and then his time, but don't quote me on that. Like, I'd have to go back and pull the bills. This has been a couple of years. But this is called the Ottobock leg brace. It's what they call the walk-on leg brace. And so it goes in my shoe, underneath my foot, and then this part comes up around my ankle. And there's this part at the top of the calf. And this is made of some kind of like space age carbon fiber stuff. It's firm, you know, I can't, it does its thing. I mean, it won't, even pushing on it hard on the table, I can't, it won't, it doesn't like bend. It flexes, but it won't bend, if that makes sense. So it's really, really firm. I actually took a pretty good tumble one day falling out of the door of my house. There's like 2 concrete steps there and then the concrete carport. And so coming out of that, I tripped right over, and thankfully Tomlin was there to brace me, but even with that, the way my foot hit, I still almost went completely over, and I twisted, and I felt this thing just really grab my leg because of the way I caught it, and that and the dog, between the 2, I didn't go over. I was so glad to have both of them that day, because when you're pitching head first and you're looking at concrete, it is not a cool thing. But with this, I was able to, you know, go a couple of feet up a climbing wall. I'm not ever going to do, you know, like rock climbing big time or anything, but it was something I'd always wanted to do. And before having this, the way I was after the foot drop issue, I could not have done it without this. But there's not a lot of videos on this, apparently, from a patient point of view. So we've got this, it's carbon fiber, it's molded, there is a form that goes up against it. This is, of course, the arch of my foot. It just makes it a little more comfortable. The foot just slides right on here. It has a little, almost like a odor eater thickness kind of thing that came with it on top. I actually went through that pretty quickly. It didn't last long, so if you get this and you want to put like an odor eater on it or something, you can. It's curved at the end. I don't know if you guys can really see it. The very tip of it, you can see the curve, but the whole piece is actually curved a little bit up like that on the bottom. I'm not sure it's coming through on the video well. Yeah, maybe. But that's what, that bend up, that's what keeps my toes up off the floor. Because if they don't, then my foot now, even after I've had surgery, it still drags. And so it catches on everything. And also the instability, the strength is not there. And so I just pitch right over. So that's why having Tomlin is like awesome, because he can brace. When I do fall, like, he can get my phone. I don't like for him to, because the phone's compared to his mouth. There's that size thing, but he can if I need him to. He can get the phone. If there's somebody in the house and I fall, he can go get them. But like, one of the horrifying things for me when I went to the NIH, and I know Tracy, you've seen the video, and some other people have, when they denied him, all I could think of was, oh my gosh, what if I fall and I need help? And what if my husband is like, you know, gone downstairs to the kitchen or someplace within the building? Because we couldn't have any food in the room. They were like really, really strict on that. So I was like, you know, what if he went downstairs to make himself a cup of coffee or something like that and I fell? So that was not a good situation. But it was scary, Tracy. It was completely terrifying. But it's because I fall. But this has been a real game changer for me, because my foot has gone from doing nothing to, it got better, it got to a certain point, and it's as good as it's going to get. That's just the way it is. But this has enabled me to walk better, so I'm more secure. I still don't do uneven ground. I have to have a walking cane. Tomlin's invaluable. Those are both good pieces to help. But without this, I couldn't do it at all. Now, this is a little bit of a pain. Let me see. I've got a piece. Where did I do? Oh. Up here at the top. it's got this piece, which goes on this support post. This is padded, and it velcros together. And then there's this strap that wraps around. Well, this piece, this one little piece is like $60, $80, and I don't know, I don't remember if that's before insurance or after. But this piece tears. Insurance on this, I think that $60 was at a discount, actually, now that I think about it. Insurance will cover this stupid piece every 5 years. I go through about 2 of these a year, so that's a problem. I found a workaround, and this has got some kind of like space age special breathable fabric that's breathable. It doesn't hold sweat. It's not likely to sour, mildew, or anything like that, because you know your leg sweats, and especially you guys know how it is to have your foot in a shoe. This feels like that on your leg. But it velcros down here, and there's some velcro on the side, so this whole thing just fits over the top of the brace. And again, this is the Ottobock Walk-on. I don't know how other braces do, but this thing goes right on like that, and then it secures with the velcro underneath. And then this piece, here's one of the things that's a problem. This wraps around the leg, and it secures right here. This is like a piece of, I don't know, soft velcro-y type stuff, and then this is the kind of the grippy fabric. So this wraps around your calf. It has to wrap tight. If it's loose, what happens is the whole thing wobbles on your leg, and that does you no good. Not only does it actually do you no good, but it causes you to fall. And so this whole thing wraps around, and it has to wrap around twice, tightly. But here's the thing. See this end right here? It tears. The end of the leg brace actually pokes through. And this is after about 4 months. And so it's tearing, and this is just, I think this strap needs to be longer. But I'm not the engineer that designed this, and I guess they have their reason. But yeah, and so this whole piece, like I said, I have to keep changing it out. But the workaround that I found, watch me set this here, is Walmart to the rescue. Who said duct tape fixes everything? I just saw that as it scrolled off my phone. Let me back up. And Texas Service Dog Team says, that's a lot. You can make one of those. Order that fabric online and take it to a seamstress to have spares made. That would be what I would have to do, because I used to be able to sew, and now what it is, because I can't move my foot much, and because of the way my foot moves, it's very, very difficult for me to hit the foot pedal. So I can sew some. I mean, I was able to get some shades made for the van, but it took me forever. So I can do it, but it's not the best situation. I had not thought about a seamstress though, and I will be looking into that. She might even know where I could get this fabric. It's really an odd fabric. It's cushiony, but it's also kind of slippery. So that might be something. And Tracy says, some sewing machines have hand controls rather than a foot pedal. I had looked into a knee pedal. I did not know about hand controls. So I will check into that. Because there are times when I would like to do things like hem a pair of pants. So that's brilliant, actually. I will check into that because it's Singer. So Singer may have something. But the workaround that I found so far is just to get, these are getting all tangled, but to get just a Walmart Velcro strip, and I put 2 of them on the brace. I'm only putting 1 on now because I have them so tangled, but they just secure right on and grabs itself. And so if you've got an Ottobock or you think you might need an Ottobock, just get these straps, and it wraps. I just wrap it on and go completely around it with the strap, and so they tighten over this, so it's holding it in place. I just recently found these particular straps, and they've been a godsend. A whole roll of these straps is like, I got it at Home Depot or Lowe's, and I want to say it was around $8. So $8 versus 60 or 80, whatever it was. So that's making a huge difference. So let me set these things aside a little bit. And my shoes. This has forever changed the shoes that I can use. No more little cutesy shoes. I have to wear these ugly things, but I'm not going to complain because I do at least stay upright most of the time. Now there are times when nothing helps if I'm having a super bad day, but I have these Velcro shoes and just undo them, and then this brace slides directly into my shoe, and it goes in pretty tight. And sometimes I have to have help getting it back in my shoe, and that's where my husband comes in, because it fits down so tight. There we go. I got it. Oh, well, maybe I don't got it. Okay, good enough for right now. He can fix it for me later. So I had to get, to accommodate the leg brace, what I had to do is I had to get a larger shoe than what I usually wear. And so that also makes it hard to find the shoes, because I just can't go in and get regular shoes from, like, I don't know, Dillard's or Penny's or anything like that. So Reebok, I was able to find some Reeboks, like $139 a pair. I did find out though, if you are a AAA member and you are ever in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, or a Reebok outlet, whip out your AAA card, because if the shoes are not on sale, it's 25% off. And if they are on sale, you can ask for the difference in the price. And so they still wind up honoring that 25% off if it's the better deal. So my push for the day. And let's see, SAS shoes, they run a little bit wide. My orthotist actually suggested checking there first, and they did not have a pair of shoes that were in the width without going into like a couple of colors, and I just wanted black. Okay, I don't feel like, I don't want this to stick out in like pink or green or anything with a kind of crazy thing, because I can really see myself going into church in pink and green tennis shoes. No, just give me black and get me out. I started having trouble finding just plain basic black in like the extra width that I needed. I wound up at Pigeon Forge, of all places, at Walmart, and they did not have, I had been to Reebok, and Reebok didn't have what I wanted, and so I'm in Pigeon Forge at Walmart, and I'm looking, and I have never seen a display of shoes like this particular Walmart had as far as black serviceable shoes. And I think it's because there are so many servers within like the whole Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevier County area that they just load them down with these kind of servers shoes. And so they actually had a couple of different styles, and they had the super wide width that I needed. But, okay, I get the super wide width that I need to now accommodate my leg brace. But keep in mind, my other foot has not changed size. So, I have my now new super big shoe and my foot on the other side that's still the same. So then that brought me to my next problem, and that is special socks. It's crazy, the kind of things. And I'm looking around. Here we go. I brought a sock in here. So I looked all over creation for some socks that I could wear, because I now have extra space to take up in my left foot. So I found these super wonderful socks, and before this happened, I did not think of like any differences in socks, okay? Like it was not on my radar screen at all. And so I found these socks at a sock shop, and they're local. They're made in Nyota, Tennessee, at a sock factory. This guy named Jack, I kid you not, designed these socks because he went to his foreman and said that, allegedly said something along the lines of he thought he could design a better sock than what the designers were doing. And the guy said, apparently try it, and this is the end result. And it is actually has a foot shape to the sock, so that when you just hold it up, it still retains its shape, has its own heel, has the toes. Toes are designed not to curl up. And why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because it makes my life better on the larger shoe. It's great. So this whole big buildup is just because I now have to have a bigger sock in my shoe. So I've got the Ottobock Walk-on leg brace with the extra wide shoe on my right foot and my normal size left foot. So I wind up wearing a super thick sock on the left and a normal sock on the right. So these are Jack's, J-A-C-K-S socks. And I want to say it's the Nyota Sock Company. Let me see if I can find that. There can't be that many socks in the sock companies in Nyota, Tennessee. So let me check. But they're great, and they have lasted forever. Crescent, C-R-E-S-C-E-N-T, outlet.com. And they've actually got a shop in Athens, Tennessee. So I'll post that. Can I post that down there? So there you go. It's been great. So let me go back up here and catch up with the conversation. Da-da-da. And thank you guys for making everybody feel at home in the chat room. I appreciate it. And J. Kurt was in. Hey, J. Kurt Vivo, welcome. Sorry I missed you there. And okay, the name of the brace, the name of the brace is Ottobock Walk-on, Ottobock Walk-on. Amber says, I had to give up most of my girly cutesy shoes. It's too sad. And Tracy says, that's my style of shoe, LOL. I have no fashion sense. Tracy says, I love Pigeon Forge, so pretty. And Amber says, I've never been to Pigeon Forge. I so wish I could go. Oh, Amber, you've got to go sometime. We've got to figure out how to do it. And Texas Service Dog Team, which is Tracy, says, my feet are short and wide. They're like walking on blocks, size 6W. If the shoe is not wide, I cannot wear it. And yeah, Amber, right by the Smoky Mountains. And Amber says, Texas, my feet are long, fat. I'm 9.5 in women's. And Texas Service Dog Team says, LOL, Amber. And Amber says, Texas, I live in Northwest Georgia and I've never been. And Tracy says, girl, you need to go. And I echo that. Amber and John Homestead says, those socks look comfortable, and they are. The sock company I'm being asked is Crescent. And I posted the link there in the page, in the chat. And Amber and John Homestead Project says, Pigeon Forge restaurants and hotels are way over my budget. And Tracy says, thanks, Gayle. And Amber says, Texas, that would be torture. All the rides, paid attractions, I would rather not go. Well, some of them aren't too bad. Go for the mountains. You know, just go just for the mountains, relax. John and I actually went, and it's still a little pricey, but John and I actually went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and we got like the lower end of the menu, and we have AAA. So AAA gives us a 10% discount, which covers tax. But we wound up coming out of there for like $40. But for a really nice evening out, it's not too bad. And Texas Service Dog Team says, just driving through the mountains is awesome. Yeah, it is. It is awesome. Absolutely. Because you don't have to go to Pigeon Forge. It can be expensive. You know, go find a nice quiet walk. If you can't hike, they've got the quiet walkways, which are not too difficult at all. I still have to be careful because of the tree limbs and stuff, but not bad. Amber and John Homestead Project. I want to go to the Titanic Museum, but you have to pay to get in. It's my dream. You do have to get in, but it's Groupon. I don't know.
I'm not streaming, so I'm looking at the webpage. I can close it down if it's bothering you.
I'm offline.
Whoa.
What just happened here? It looks okay on my end now. Okay, hopefully we're back now. I don't know what's going on with this crazy stream. Okay, good, I'm back. Okay, so, but yeah, Pigeon Forge is great, but you do have to save up. And I love my AAA membership because it helps me so much there. Tracy, if you ever come to Pigeon Forge again, call me. I would be glad to meet you at Starbucks or meet you for dinner or lunch. There's some great restaurants out there. I don't know if you like the Oh, I can't think of the name of it. It's by Stokely's. John, the chicken restaurant or the restaurant with chicken that I love, help me out here.
Apple Barn.
Apple Barn. I don't know if you like the Apple Barn, but that's a great place. And Amber says, I have AAA. And Texas Service Dog Team says, next time I'm in Tennessee, maybe next vacation. Let me know. If it's near payday, I'll take you out. How's that? If it's not near payday, then we're at $1 menu at McDonald's. And she's talking about renting a cabin in the mountains. They have some awesome cabins. Awesome cabins. Amber, I was really glad to have AAA with my car the other day. Sorry guys, thirsty here. But yeah, that's my story about Footbock and the Ottobock leg brace and that whole ordeal. So I know the person that contacted me said she was having trouble getting information about the leg brace. So I hope that helps you. And the whole thing like fits in the shoe just like that. So it, yeah, it's definitely a help. It keeps me upright. So. And Texas Service Dog Team says, I have to take Story outside. Aw. Okay, you take her out. Give her a pet for me. Get a pat on the head there. And she also says, LOL, I hear you, $1 menu is great. Yeah, it is. So she's taking Story outside. She says, will do. Catch you later. Okay. Thanks for coming in. So, yeah, that's my story about the Ottobock leg brace. If anybody's got any questions about it, leave it in the comments below. If you're on the podcast later, then leave me a comment about that. I'll be glad to answer. And Amber says, another dream of mine is going on a mountain coaster ride in Pigeon Forge. That would be fun. I would wave at you from the ground and say, have a fun time. I used to do roller coasters, but not anymore. But I will cheerfully wave. I'll scream at you. I can do that. But it's expensive. If you go during the week, it can be a little better price-wise and a little less crowded. So, because everybody goes on the weekends. So like, oh my gosh, especially if you go during the fall, go during the week, because otherwise weekends like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's just crazy. I love roller coasters. Now, how did I know you would be a roller coaster girl? I just knew you would be. That'll be great. Yeah. But keep your AAA card. I don't know what kind of AAA level that you have, but bring it with you if you ever go to Pigeon Forge, because the Applewood farmhouse that I just mentioned and grill, they both give a AAA discount. Split a meal so it's not as expensive. Groupon has the deals for Titanic and some of the other attractions, so use those. It's still expensive no matter how you go, so don't get me wrong, but go lunches instead of dinners. That helps on price, but that can help. And if you should go to Dollywood, you adrenaline junkie, thrill-seeking self, if you go to Dollywood, you can actually go for 2 days. If you go after 3 on the first day, then you get in for free the second day. So it's a good way to get the biggest bang for your buck. And Amber says, we have the best service that AAA has to offer. Good for you. They are so helpful. So you asked a question about the car. a few minutes ago. I'm scrolling up trying to find it. Okay, John wants to know about my car. Okay. We had it looked at. John had to get some help over because we weren't really sure what it was going to be, and we didn't want to take the whole thing down if we didn't have to check it out. So we have a friend that's a certified mechanic, and he came over, and it turns out it's the radiator. We were concerned it was going to be the water pump, which is a nightmare on the PT Cruiser to change. It's a royal pain. The shop guys allow 6 hours of labor time to change the water pump on the PT Cruiser. It is stupid the way they've got that design. My opinion, okay. But turns out it's the radiator. So we got to take the front grill off and some other things, but it's a repair that my husband can do. And the radiator might be under warranty, so if it is, that's really going to help. But we've only had to put one radiator on, and it's got almost 400,000 miles. It's got like 300 and... How many miles did it have when you checked it, John? The PT Cruiser?
398.
398,000. I was thinking 396, but I snuck a couple more in there, so 398,000. So, it's to only do one radiator, I think I'm doing pretty good. Although it's getting to the point now where the past couple of years it's had little random things. Well, not little, but it's had random things go wrong. We've had to replace the engine. We've had to replace the main computer. And that was an ordeal, let me tell you. But we got the main computer done. Different things. Starter, water pump, timing chain. Just all those little things. So, but yeah. Because we figure... we could get a new car, but the highest repair bill that we've had in it has been, of course, the new engine. And I figure that's still cheaper than a new car, and I know everything else that's wrong with it. And if I buy a used car off of somebody else, I don't know what's wrong with it. What they'll tell you what like the major thing is, but you don't know like the other little things. You don't know how old the hoses are and things like that. And so on this one, I know. So. And Amber says, it's about time to retire that car and get another PT Cruiser, LOL. I know. I'm being told that by lots of people, but, it's the whole thing of, I like the car, but I really can't afford a high car payment right now. I really can't afford any car payment. We want to go out to New Mexico. We're going to take the van for that one though. But we want to go out to New Mexico to see my daughter, and I've got a ton of medical bills. And so going out to see her is going to cost, but I miss her. Want to go see her. Today's her birthday, actually, my younger daughter. So, but the way we travel, we take the van, and we don't have to spend the night anywhere to pay for that because we've got the van. So all we're doing is buying groceries and buying gas. And so whether we buy groceries here or on the road, either way, we've got the grocery cost. So basically what it costs us to go out there is gas money. And I have made a long list of what I think is like every free thing to go out there and every free thing I can find coming back. So Amber says, I have car issues too. My mom hit my car and she doesn't want to fix it, playing the I'm your disabled mother card. Oh no. Will your insurance cover it at all since she doesn't want to, or her insurance? Because that's terrible. That's low. And Amber says, road trips foods, I go the cheapest route possible too. Absolutely. There is no point in paying a bunch of money for food. Absolutely. And we contacted her insurance company. Good for you. Because that's what she pays insurance for. So the insurance ought to cover it if she doesn't want to. And if she hasn't had an accident, maybe it won't make her rates go up. A lot of insurance companies are offering accident forgiveness now. Yeah. So, like when my oldest daughter, she totaled her car a couple of years ago, 2 payments. Or maybe the second one was almost due. Seems like the second one was almost due, and she totaled her car. And so we had accident forgiveness, and she was on our household policy, and it did not make our rates go up. Got a claim started. Good for you. Good for you. So, okay, well, I'm going to pop off of here for a couple of minutes, but I think I'm going to let my phone charge and come back on if the whole Wi-Fi thing will bear with me. So, are you going to be around later? Do you want to pop back on? Or if you got something else to do, I understand. And it says, she will get mad at me for filing a claim and black me, but oh well. Well, that's too bad because you gotta, if you mess up, you gotta admit it. So, I'm so sorry, Amber. Okay, and Amber says, take care, Gayle. Love you and see you in a bit. Love you too. It says, I have nothing to do, LOL. Okay. Well, if I see you again later, it'll make my night. So, thank you. And I want to tell everybody, thank you all for tuning in and for being a part of this channel because you're what makes it work. So, thanks for watching. I hope the part about the leg brace was helpful. Leave me a comment, send me a tweet, or contact me to let me know if I can answer any other questions. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you out about and online. Bye.